Hey, welcome everybody. How's it going? Um, Hope you guys have an awesome day, and welcome to this amazing day that God has given us, and just want to thank God for that. And um, beside me is Jax, my co-host, and AAP. We'll be interviewing him today and have a little bit of fun. So, let's get started. Just want to say hi to a few people. Amber, how's it going? West Haven. Um, Ron, how's it going, man? Twig One Junior. Seldom seen. Brenda, what's going on? Um, what's going on out there? Monster Radio, what's up, man? Sue D, thanks for
Hey,
being here.
Ryan. Hi, grandson's in there. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel, how's it
I
going?
love you.
What's up, Daniel?
Three Souls, what's up, dude?
Yo, Steven.
Nicole, what's up? Let's see. There's so
Keep
many
going.
people out there.
There's
Wow.
so many out there. Michigan
Wolf,
Gems,
what's
Three Souls
up?
Paranormal, Ghost Whisperer, Nicole
Robert,
Fairman,
how you
Wolf Haunts, Twig, Kim. Hey, Lori,
What's up,
Robert
Lori?
Colwell, Ryan, West
Yeah.
Haven. Woo, they're still going.
Nice.
Top Balla, what's up? Sue D, Chris B, Brittany Lagunas, what's up, girl?
Heck yeah. Sounds like the chat's on fire.
ABZ, Daniel, there you're again, my grandson. They're driving back from Texas. They went to go see my mom. Scott Brogan, what's up? Pam's opinion.
Yeah, have a safe trip back as well, too.
Yeah, they're. I
Yeah,
think
that
right now
weather.
they're in New Mexico right now, so they'll be home by tonight.
What's up?
Moose, what's up? WD Paranormal, what's up?
Ooh, Michigan Gems, what's up?
Yep,
Chris
there's
B,
lots of people in here.
welcome. Double
33.
D, what's up, man? Oh, thank you all 34 now. I appreciate it, guys. We'll be saying a couple of names later. I know there's a lot of people we're gonna get on the interview.
Simple Grower, what's up?
I was a lot, man.
Normally we
Simple
only have
Grower.
about 15 people. We can get through them real quick.
I know, right? So, AAP, did you want to say hi to anybody before we start?
Yeah, I just say hi to everybody because y'all just went down the names of lists and it sounds like the chat's on fire. There's a lot of amazing people up in here. We greatly appreciate them. That's part of what we're doing is helping people, build a family of people that's going to come support each other. And like them coming over here tonight, that's a big thing to me. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to Eli and Jax to have a good chat and have a lot of thumbs up. It makes everything just feel so much better. And so, this is what family's all about. And every name up in your chat right now is just such amazing freaking people. I love every one of them to death and greatly appreciate them very much. And so, I want to go with the flow and y'all let the questions begin. I mean, I really do love every one of the people up in the chat right now. And we had a great time. We've been shouting it out all day this week for days. And it's been an amazing week. I can't even believe it's over already. But I mean, just absolutely freaking amazing.
Do you ever lose your voice, Luke?
No.
Temporarily once a day.
Oh my goodness, Jack has so much shit.
I know. Oh.
It just seems to get deeper and deeper, honestly.
Hey, Daddy, what's up?
I'll be talking like this next month.
I know, right?
God, then you sound like Jason, my boyfriend. He's deep Texas boy.
You got
His
a deep
voice is so deep. Like,
nice.
He's talking. I'm like, are you mumbling again? He goes, no, I'm talking. I'm like, oh, my bad.
Sweet. So what's up? I mean, let's get on with the interview. How's everybody doing?
Everybody's here, so we can start it.
Nice.
Oh, Big T, what's up?
And don't forget about that.
I do agree what you said about the subs earlier, Luke, in your stream. I think it's more important to build a strong community. And the subs will come. They will come.
Yep.
But first, we have to grow together in order to stop YouTube from all the rules and all the regulations and stuff. I mean, yes, a lot of people want the subs, but subs will come.
They will.
Build your channel. Make your channel what you want it to be, and they will come. They will.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
There's these kids out there starting fishing videos at 14, and now they're 20, 25, and they've got a million subs.
Yep.
Do what you love what you do, and the subs will come.
Exactly right.
Exactly.
Yep.
No, Hawk, I just had a phone call, so yeah. What's up, Vinny? What's going on, man?
Hey, Vinny.
Okay, well, we'll start the interview then. What
Hey,
made
Val.
you? What's up, Val? So what made you start getting to the paranormal and slash growing channel?
Well, paranormal, I got into the paranormal because of all the millions of little things that always seem to happen. And when I'm in different areas, I can feel when something there, like the hair on my arms, even stand up. And at that time, it's almost like I could feel that something's sitting here staring at us. And I could tell if it's negative energy or positive energy by the way I feel. Like, am I scared of where I'm at, or am I comfortable of where I'm at? Like different places, different buildings, older houses that we looked at for sale before, and different things. So one of the things that got me, more interested in what was going on was, owning my home where we actually had something happen here. I've always had the experiences. I knew that if I went out looking for them, I would find them. So I've always kind of believed everybody anyway. But, being here and Miss Erickson coming forward, downloading the app that I did and her coming forward really just made everything kind of stand out more for me, because I felt like I was one of those types of people that it's very easy for the spirits to actually communicate with. And really, even after I communicated with Elizabeth, not even knowing that's who it was until Becca told me what in the world was going on, after communicating with her and going to the Bath Massacre location and getting the responses I did there. I mean, it's a complete game changer. But, many a years before even all this took place, I saw a full-on shadow figure of a lady with curlers in her hair. And that scared me half to death, and I was like thinking I'm crazy and stuff like that. And I tried to debunk it, but there's no way you can debunk something like that, because you saw what you saw clear as day. And so what really confirmed that I saw what I saw was the lady that moved into that same house after I did started asking us about the lady with curlers in her hair. And I never even mentioned it to her. So right then and there, I was like, yeah, I was like, she's seen exactly what we saw. So, but honestly, I think that it's a demon or something in the form of the lady that died in that home, because the energy there is like a negative feeling energy to where you're like absolutely almost scared to even look in the mirror. Like when you're brushing your teeth and anything, it feels like something's like going to be right back there. So you're like, damn, I don't want to look in the mirror,
Yeah.
And so I was having that feeling, and just thinking, I don't, not really knowing that I'm feeling this negative energy that's actually there. But, waking up that night and looking over like that and seeing this lady staring at us, I was like, what in the world? And right then and there, I knew for sure that everybody that had the shadow figure stories, they're most likely not telling you to fib. They probably did have this experience, because I just experienced it for myself. Now I have confirmation, so it's kind of a game changer.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But
But with that, like, I mean, did you try to communicate with it? Like, I mean, what would you do if it spoke to you? How would you approach it?
if a spirit started talking to me like without having a voice box or something like that on, it'd be really spooky, I would believe. But at this point, like I said, being able to sense the energy, in my home, even Amber's Paraworld came on. She said that she could sense a lady sitting here. She kind of described what Mrs. Erickson would look like, and said that that lady's right here with us right now. And I'm sitting here thinking, what in the world? Because Amber's Paraworld's already hit the nail on the head quite a few times, So I mean, but the presence feeling like a friendly presence compared to a negative presence. So if you had like a voice in your ear and you swore you heard it, but you're not feeling like negativity, everything still feels positive in your body, then I would say I probably wouldn't be too scared at all, But if I had the voice coming to my ear and I just had like the shocks and I'm scared as crap and something's not right. That means it's negative, And so having the experiences I've had, I know that there's a negative energy and there's a positive energy. There's a white energy and there's a black energy. There's a dark and a black. I believe that these black shadow figures could possibly be demonic spirits impersonating loved ones and kids and people that's passed away. They want to get close to you. They want to get as close as they can to you and then rock your freaking world.
Can I ask you a question?
What when I had that experience in here with Mrs. Erickson, when I ended up getting diagnosed with this whole bottom back pain and all this, everything was almost like a normal conversation almost with her. But when she was talking about her hip, it came through like distorted and dragged out. It sounded almost kind of demonic like. But right following that, a child voice that shouldn't even have been able to come through on that, because you pick what voice you want that sound of like an elderly lady, a child, an elderly man. You know what I'm saying? You can pick different tones of the voices, but there shouldn't have been any child voice there. And the child voice came through and said, "That's Satan." So I'm thinking here when I'm going over my evidence, are they saying I'm Satan? But now that I've been thinking about it, now that my back hurts like crazy from this whole thing, shoot, I forgot to take my dang medicine today. But now that that's happening, and I've had that experience and my back's like this, I'm thinking like a negative entity came through and just like, bam. And maybe it went right back out the door because I have so much positive energy. Maybe these things can come in and hit me, bam, when I'm like least expecting it,
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like you're supposed to fear not. So like, even if you're around like a negative energy, don't let your guard down.
No, never. Now, can you? I know you could tell a difference probably with negative and just a spirit, like an evil spirit and a regular spirit. Can you tell a difference? I know that you did probably because with your back pain and stuff like that came through your back and out, But do you think it lingers around because your pain's still there? Do you think it's stopping you from doing what you're doing sometimes?
Nah, it don't really stop me from doing what I'm doing. And there is a difference, like I said, there's a black and a dark, there's a white side, there's a dark side, You've got the evil and you've got the positive. The evil's always attacking the positive, of course, and it's always impersonating as well, too. The difference is normally when you have like the more peaceful spirits, you get more of like the white orb activity and the balls of light and the white cloud shadows that can go right through the walls, and when you see those presidents, you're like shocked, but you're not like petrified, scared, But, even though I say fear not, when I saw that negative shadow that night, I just had the fear in me, man. And it's like, even though you want to be strong, these things have the power to like strike the fear in you, man. I'm telling you.
They do. And especially, I know they say like with evil spirits, it's more like that you can smell like rotten egg or something like that. Is that true though? Have you ever smelled a rotten egg or
I
anything?
have smelt phantom smells, is what they want to call them, a phantom smell. With temperature fluctuations, if a wood in your house heats up to a certain temperature, it can put off a smell. There's all kinds of different, things that could be associated with a phantom smell. So I wouldn't necessarily say that a phantom smell would mean there's a spirit present. But like if you're feeling like an energy with that smell, then probably, because when there's a presence and you have the aura that actually they feed on, the positivity, you feel that thing, whether it's positive or negative.
You do,
So you're gonna know it's there. Shoot, the volume on my phone's all messed up here.
So what do you do you think spirits can enter your dreams as well?
Hang on a minute, Eli. I'm sorry, man. The volume's coming through like a distorted robot underwater.
That's okay.
Oh my.
Let's try it again. See what you said.
Okay. Do you think spirits can contact you in your dreams?
I would like to think so. Your mind wanders a lot when you go to bed. Your mind kind of wanders, and whether or not, like when you're seeing all these dreams or not, if we're actually like in another dimension or not, I'm not sure. I would love to think so because myself, I have a bunch of very vivid dreams, and it's doing things with my dad again and doing things with people that's been gone. And, it's almost like they're right there with you. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, in those dreams, I'll ask my dad for information, you know, and it's like, I get it. And it's like when I wake up the next morning, I remember, it's like, wow. So it's crazy because even I've had dreams of different patents. Like I could literally turn around and patent stuff right now that would be 100% worldwide. But, you know, I haven't done it. I could do it, but just like things in my dreams that it's like if you pay attention, I don't even know if it has something to do with your energy or not, but if you pay attention to your dreams and you remember like what you're dreaming about and you remember your questions and the answers, you can literally figure stuff out, which is kind of amazing because, I mean, if there wasn't something there helping you, then how do you figure it out like that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's almost like something gave you that knowledge. And otherwise you wouldn't have really known about it. So it's like the questions being asked and something in your dream is answering, you know, because I was thinking of the patent for a while and all of a sudden I went to bed and dreamed of this whole patent, and dang sure if I had to put the thing together, I would have had a worldwide patent, man. And I could still do it right now.
Nice. Do you also think about out-of-body experiences?
Yeah, those are real, man. I broke my arm, you know, when I was younger, and they had to stick all kind of needles in my legs, and that's almost, you know, the whole time my arm was snapped in 2 places, man. It wasn't that bad pain-wise. My body had generated so much adrenaline and everything to keep me like numbed up, but I remember all those needles going into my arm, and then them putting the little gas thing over my face, and they passed me out. But what was really scary, and I can remember it as clear as day, I could probably draw the picture. I was in the corner of the actual room in the hospital looking at them doing everything to my arm. And until they woke me up somehow off the gas, I went back into my body. But I almost think they almost gave me too much gas back then. I almost was out of it.
Wow.
I think they might have almost lost me. I don't know. But yeah, I sat there and watched everything they did to my arm, which was freaking insane, man, because I was in the corner looking down, straight down on myself with the doctor standing around me working on my arm, man. I remember everything.
That's nuts.
Wow.
Yep. So being out of body, definitely.
Huh?
Definitely.
For saying that, Eli. You said the same thing. Eli said the same thing. He said he was looking down on his body while they were working on him.
Yep. And I've seen the hospital room.
He's seen everything.
Everything.
And then when the beeps, everything. He said, "Do you think I'm crazy?" I said, "No, I don't think you're crazy. I think that happens. I think
100%.
There's some people that die." Yeah. Like say they die on the operating table, and then the doctor will come and say, "Well, we lost you, but we brought you back." And then there's some people that die and don't come back, and then there's people like Eli that have died and have seen things and has come back to tell about it. That probably happens more than we know. It just people don't talk about it.
Well, see with me, like I mean, like I was in the hospital room, but my hospital room changed to like a garage, or changed to a dance hall, or changed to like different locations, or I mean it's wild. I mean even just even seeing the other side is just unreal. Like I mean you see demons chasing after you, see yourself,
I believe,
and everything. Like
you might have got like a glimpse like what heaven might end up looking like, you know. I kind of believe that people can get a glimpse into heaven, but nobody's going to be going into heaven until the great day of judgment comes, and all souls will be judged. The gate will be opened, you know. Once the gates are completely built, then the gates are open, and then judgment day. Because when you do your math from the time that the Bible tells you that judgment day is coming, the Bible says once the gates are done being built, they'll open, and then judgment day can happen. When you do the 70 Jubilee years, we're just now there. So this judgment day, it could literally take place anytime. And people are like, oh, no, we've had this, we've had that. Yeah, but you didn't look for the signs. You didn't count the days in the Jubilee years. You're not paying attention to everything going on. And so when you do and you pay attention, then you know that this judgment day could be anytime now. And when you know that the souls are sitting here in the same place that where they died, I tell everybody, you know, maybe you can go to the cemetery and you can get responses out there. Maybe you can. And I see people doing it all the time. So I know you can. But the thing is I almost think that the spirits are kind of, in that area, because why would I go to Bath Massacre and start getting all the children coming forward with their names, with their ages? Why would the teachers be responding? Why would they still be sitting out there freaking almost 100 years later? They would not be sitting there. If they had a choice to move on to a better place, if they could go to paradise, I mean, if they could move on anywhere, they would not be standing out there where they got blown to freaking shreds.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you want, like, okay, so I look at it this way. Like Eli and I were talking about this the other day. He says, what do you think what happens, like, when you get buried, for instance? I said, look, I'm telling you what, this is just a meat suit. That's all this is.
Exactly.
That's all we
your
got.
Vessel. Your body's your vessel.
When we pass, yeah, essentially our spirit is in our vessel.
Yep.
So when we die, our spirit, and I really believe that Purgatory is the place where everybody goes, and I do believe that that's the place where you could decide really what you want to do, whether you want to go to whatever is up there that no one's ever seen, or you want to stay where you're staying. Some people don't want to leave there's some spirits that don't want to leave their house. And in that aspect, you have these spirits that are in homes that are like, almost, falling down.
Yeah.
But I kind of look at it like this way. It's like that movie, The Others. That's your home. You don't know that you passed. Some don't know that passed. And then you have somebody come in your house. Like, wait, why are these strangers in my house? This is my house. They're breaking in. This is my house. I think that's when people get a lot of like activity and spirits, because it's the spirits in there trying to be like, get out of my house. You don't belong here.
Yep, exactly.
They just don't. They're still going their day-to-day stuff. I think Val told me that. It's like,
they're
still doing their day-to-day things, but their strangers are coming into their home.
Yeah.
They're like, well, maybe they think we're ghosts.
Well, that's why the lady that, passed away in this home, the day that I moved in here, I was standing down here in the basement, and one of the doors upstairs slammed so hard. I'm surprised it didn't just break off the freaking hinges. I was the only one here, and the other ones, they went, I don't even know where they went, but I was the only one here. It was the first day that I bought this house, and I was down here in the basement, and that door up there slammed so freaking hard, I about had a heart attack. But, just like Amber said earlier, the lady thinks we're hilarious now, so obviously she's like freaking, getting used to us. She don't think that we're bad people. I mean, even though, I might smoke a little bit of the green and all that, obviously the lady thinks we're funny, because that's what Amber was picking up on, and she's hit the head a million times already. So, she has a very good connection as well. So does Oracles and Beyond. They have awesome connections as well, where they can pick up on things even from a whole different location, Yeah.
I think when you have spirits in your home, you have to learn to coincide together. You know what I mean? I mean, they're here.
Well, listen,
they're here.
When Jesus
share the house.
Yeah. And when Jesus passed away, he did not say, today you're going with me to heaven.
No,
he said, today you'll be with me in paradise. So if you live according to his word, if you follow the 10 commandments, if you're living as holy as you can possibly be, because you can't never be perfect anyway, but if you follow his word perfectly, which nobody in this world is doing, I don't know anybody that does, not one person. There's nobody. So nobody's going to paradise with Jesus. Not too many, but we're going to be in a purgatory where we can still be saved, and then we can still go to heaven, but the gate is not even opened yet.
Right. See, Vale said they're like roommates for us, and that's what they're like. It's like we live here and we have roommates, and that's just what they are.
It was their world before it was ours. And you got to understand that, when we're talking to the spirit, if it is the spirit of a person and not the spirit of a demon, it was their world before it was ours. So that does make a difference.
Long before he came along, like my grandmother, she's here. My uncle is here. Long before I was even born, they were walking this earth, and they died before I was born. So they were here first, essentially.
Yeah.
They were.
And when Willa Hall came through, she said her age was 12 years old, which is another thing that tells me you're just kind of in a holding area. You're not aging. You're not going anywhere. You're not in a negative area, but you're not in paradise. You're still sitting here, and then we're going to be here until the great day of judgment. And I mean,
so you're saying like everything I went through, was maybe just so what I'm asking is, do you think that God was showing me the image of the visions of the future, what's going to happen if I go back,
You
or
know,
or was He showing me also if I stay there, it was going to be hell basically till He comes and I could realize why I didn't know how I died. I just stopped breathing because of
yeah,
COVID, and I died on the ambulance to the hospital. I didn't know. All I know is when I died, there was a big void. I heard people say, "God help me, I did this wrong," and why were you? I heard kids. I heard everything. Was a big void. We were going a lot of spirits, and what really saved
man.
me was a phone. My fiance would come call my phone, the phone calls, and I think Val, she is through the veil. She did a
Yeah,
video about a chair, and it made him feel like that made him feel human. That he needed to sit in that chair. That made him feel connected to the side. That phone
That's
made
what
him
he
feel
loved.
connected
That's
to
when
the
he
side.
loved when he was
Yep,
alive, his
yep,
chair.
yep.
yeah.
Somebody was looking for
And
his chair.
I tell you this: when you die, you forget about everything that it happens in this world. You forget about it, but you do see your loved ones. My loved ones will try to kill me left and right.
Woo! Don't get it.
So
Don't get
I
it.
mean,
Don't
you know
I
what
get
I
it.
don't
mean?
think you I don't think you necessarily forget, because of the fact that, I have spirits answering questions, they just like Willa Hall. How would she still know she had a brother named Georgie?
Yeah.
How would she be able to tell me that Georgie's right there? I don't think they forget. I just think that they're in a place where they're not used to being able to communicate with anybody that's still alive. So when somebody like me comes through to a place where people got blown up 100 years ago, and all of a sudden I'm sitting here freaking talking to them, I
Mhm.
mean, it's absolutely amazing, but they're answering questions. They're telling me how old they are. She would not be able to tell me that, man. If they forgot, how would she know how old she was? How would she know
Exactly.
Georgie was there? How would she
Yep.
know she got blown up?
Right.
Exactly.
It's like,
Because God wants you to show, well, to me it feels like God wants you to know that you did have a brother and he is looking after you, but he wants you to know how he passed. So when you go back to the real living, maybe it's a question, maybe it's they want you to relay a message to the loved one that misses him, and that I mean it's just the way God perceives it when you're gone, or in or past life. You know what I mean? You might have a past life experience that He shows you from what happened in your past life when you're gone. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's not like I don't remember speaking to anybody in the spirit box. I just remember I was going through my own demise. I was going through everything that God was showing me. I mean, it's a. I mean, I love this your interview, but it's crazy. It's wild, and I'm glad that God gave me the honor to experience that, for me to come back and talk to you guys about it, because sometimes it's kind of weird to be like, well, people think like paranormal investigators think, what are they talking about? Why are they saying death? One little sentence at a time, because they don't have sort of like a voice. They're showing you that how they died and who killed them. They're either by word. Like some people's deaths are experienced. Some people, when they leave this earth, they th- they're shown for a reason to come back, so they could talk to their loved ones and say, look, let's be closer together. You know what I mean? Because some people don't get along with their families. You know what I mean? And it's just weird. I mean, how God just, gave me these visions, and I don't want to
yeah.
go there anymore, because to me it was very lonely. I mean, you can only use your vision to see. That's it. You can't use your hands. You can't hug your loved ones. You know what I mean?
Well, you
Like
might have just got back right before you entered purgatory, man.
I did.
Like a purgatory situation. Thank
It,
goodness you came
Yeah,
back.
yeah, and I mean, I spoke to God. I mean, He's amazing. Like He gave me a chance to come back, and I remember
Exactly.
from my mouth, and I mean, damn, you know what I mean? Just to go through all that, to experience it, and I'm just like, I love what I do, and I'm glad I'm back. You
And
know?
he'll put people through that, man, just to change your whole entire life, man,
Yeah,
and be like,
yeah,
look, I can really rock your world. I can take you out. I can bring you back at any given minute now. You're going to have choices to make. And he's probably suggesting to make the right
yeah,
decisions, man.
yeah,
And by showing you this stuff, by you knowing that there's another good side, but then you heard all this screaming and all
yeah.
these things and all these things. there's two sides, man. You could have went either way, and he's telling you, you've got a time to weigh your deeds, man.
Well,
Are you
I
going
can
to
say
have,
one thing. The those evil entities, you know, those Hollywood entities that they show on TV, those demons and everything, they don't look like that really. If you would see one, oh no, you would have a heart attack and die. To be honest, I mean, I had some chasing me in my freaking.
He explained one to me, and I was like, dude, okay, I got it. He goes, no, you don't got it. I said, no, I get it. Like, take the demons of Hollywood and times it by 40, 50,
yeah.
60.
Oh, man. Hell's going to be your worst nightmare.
It's not that their face is falling off. It's just the person that they are, what they can control and what they can make people do.
They're evil, dude. I mean, I had one in the hospital room where I woke up, I landed on the floor. I was just cradled, and they're like, the evilness in their voices. They're like, "You're gonna die. You're not gonna go. No one loves you."
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're just in your ear. You know what I mean? And but I hear,
definitely, yeah.
But I hear God sending me to one place to another, saying, come here. Or come here, you know what I mean? But it's just the evil voice are just like telling you people talking about you, blah 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 blah, and one just gets in people in my face, just trying to get on my throat and tearing everything out. I mean, I mean,
oh yeah. I think a lot of times, like you're in an area, you have demons telling you to die all the time. Like, I mean, I think that people have it happening all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that they can actually manipulate a situation and make things a lot worse than they actually are.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason I know this is because when me and Rebecca got married, everything was peaceful, but we had demons in that tape saying die and you might die throughout the whole thing that was being recorded. It was insane, man. And those were crystal clear. You didn't need no earbuds. You didn't need nothing on, but the whole time the demon was in there telling me to die when we're sitting there getting married. I don't know if it was talking to me or Becca or what. It was being recorded, so. But it kept saying it. I was just like, oh my gosh. They're like, did the person that was doing the recording, would they have done that? I was like, no. And they were like, well, you need to check the tape. And I checked it. I was like, holy moly. And that church ended up burning itself down. And so that's crazy.
Oh crap.
Yep.
But you got to think about it, like people that died a long time ago, that the land was so what do you call it? All that blood that wasn't on that land. You don't know what was the land, what was on top of that land a long time ago before the church was. And imagine all the killings. I mean, spirits could be upset too. It couldn't be just demonic. It had to be like really hatred because of what people done to them. Native Americans, I mean, anybody. It could be anybody, anything that died on that land, And of course, they're angry, but something like that's just too much. I mean, you know what? Like gatekeepers, when they talk about gatekeepers, what God was showing me about gatekeepers, or they called them some gatekeepers, I can't remember, but they're there. They think we think on the spirit box that they're there to harm the spirits. They're just there to keep them from saying so many things. You know what I mean? Like that's what I seen. But yeah.
The Bible, I keep going back to the Bible because everything that it mentions is people are experiencing, so how in the world could you deny it? But, the Bible talks about different types of men and beasts and men and animals mixed and different things in the Old Testament and all that. So I believe that those spirits are there. And I believe that there is a lot of dark forces and probably big beastly spirits like pulling people back at times, keeping people from communicating, maybe even coming through when you're doing an EVP session and ripping your freaking spine out like they did me. I believe that there's all kinds of different types of demons. And in my dream, I was battling a big demon, and this thing was coming at me. And for a second, I was scared. But then all of a sudden, I told myself in my dream, I was like, fear not. Jesus said, fear not. And at that minute, I grabbed a huge spear off the ground and I threw it as hard as I could. And it went right through that demon and blew him into a smoke cloud. And I haven't had the dream again since. And it's been a heck of a lot more peaceful around here, man. Which makes me wonder, like if you're saying, if when you go to bed and you're really off into that trance, if you can't kind of get into the other side a little bit, And with me, I think I might have sleep apnea anyway, so I could be drifting out and not even know it.
Wow. What do you think sometimes you have out of body experiences still?
What'd you say, Eli?
Do you think sometimes you have them when you're asleep?
It's quite possible, man. I believe so because of the fact, like I said, people stop breathing when they're sleeping, and they get their oxygen level in their blood so low that they could literally, like our outer body experience when we were in the hospital, the same thing. We're like too much of a sleep. We're like slipping away here because we're not breathing. And there's people that have to have an alarm on them. So when they stop breathing, it's like, beep, wakes them up real quick and they start breathing again. My cousin's doing that and he's older than I am. So I might have that same problem. And I believe that there's probably thousands, maybe millions of people that have that problem to where when they fall asleep deeply, they are taking very shallow breaths, maybe not even no breaths, maybe skipping breaths, and they're slipping into the other side for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And you might be able to fight your own demons by doing that, like I did, because I tell you, things have been a lot more peaceful.
Exactly. It is because like me one time I was laying down on my bed, and I swear I got up weightless and I looked and I was just Mac.
Man.
What I don't understand is these people that try to say I'm demonic for going to or going to hell because I speak to spirits. Well, everybody's on earth for a reason. You know what I mean? And God's not condemning you now, is he? So I mean, you still do your thing. You're doing a good job. You're only helping the spirits.
Yeah.
You're not telling them to go harm people. You know. So that's all yeah.
You got to remember Amber as well too. If you go back to her comment, Eli, people calling her demonic and all these, she can't help that she has this connection. Yep. Some people have it, some people don't. Some people's energy draws different things. Some people just have more of an ability than others. Amber cannot help it. And so people telling her that, those people are trying to be her judge. Yep. Nobody can be your judge, Amber. Only Jesus Christ can be your judge at this point. God actually left it up to him to be our judge. So we're going to be judged. We're going to be standing in front of the great king. We're going to be judged. So until that day, Amber, don't even worry about it. You have an ability that you should be rocking with and not worry about it at all. Don't let no negative people bring you down. Don't let their negative comments bring you down. If God didn't want you to have the ability, you wouldn't have had the ability. God is the creator of all things, even me and you and everybody else here. So he created you with the ability. So you do it the right way. And when somebody tries to tell you that you're demonic, they're trying to be your judge, they're the ones that better go check and recollect because they're the ones trying to play God, and that ain't going to happen.
Exactly. So let's move on to so when you go into haunted location, let's say you're going to haunted location, right? Like what do you look out for before you enter the property, and what kind of what do you call it what kind of like certain like things do you bring into a location to protect you from any spirits or the living?
Honestly, I really believe it all goes right back to your aura and your energy and your belief and your faith. It really all boils down to your actual faith in God, because he'll protect you from all things. No weapons formed against you shall prosper as long as you have your faith. So I don't take anything like that with me, my friend. I just, I always pray that, I'm going to be protected. Of course, I always pray for that. And I pray for the people that, that I'm talking to, that they're going to be protected and things like that. So I just think, some people, can burn sage and different things and they can have success with it. And other people, they're like waking up more spirits and aggravating other things. I don't bring anything other than my faith with me when I do things crazy like that, and start digging around. I know that we're not supposed to be trying to make direct communication with the other side and things like that. I do know that. And I know that, I'm going to be judged for that as well, too. But I also believe that Jesus already died for all of our sins. He already said so. All we got to do is call his name and we're going to be saved. Mm-hmm. So my sins were already saved already. So I just have to remember that he's the one that saved them. The thing is is that there's so many people having more experiences, and when you're one of those people that are having these experiences and you can feel the energies and all these things, you've got to have some type of answer. And so sharing it with people, yes, I'm not trying to tell you to go against the Bible and do something. I'm not trying to tell you that, because what I'm doing is wrong, by doing it. I already know that, but I also just would like to know the answers, and I just want to share my experience, because I don't want anybody, if I can help a few people to understand that somebody that's coming to them and saying, yo, I had this haunting happen, it scared me and all this, if I can help somebody to actually believe them, then I'm helping out, because people are scared to come forward with their paranormal activity events, because they're scared that people are going to think that they're crazy or demonic or something like that. But so if I can help somebody to actually believe the people because of what I've experienced, then maybe I've done my job. Maybe it's because we don't want to call people liars and have the whole world saying these people are fakes when they're really telling you the truth. So, but I believe that the closer we get towards the great judgment day and the end of times and all that, the more of these activities we're going to be up against.
Have you ever came upon a person that doesn't really believe in the paranormal?
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
What have they told you? Do you have any? Do you tell them that this is just what you do and what you love to do? And
I mean, if the person you're talking with is your friend or anything like that, or anything, and you're telling them something and they don't believe what you're saying, and they're not a real friend anyway, but for two, if you're telling somebody something and you've got the evidence and you're showing them that, and they don't want to believe you, then they're scared of what they're actually seeing. A lot of times it's not because they don't actually believe, it's more of they're actually petrified inside. So
yeah.
I do run across people that don't believe, and they'll argue with you until the sky turns gray and tell you everything you catch is fake, when you know that there's no possible way it could be fake, but
yeah.
I only try so much to talk to people like that, Eli.
Mm-hmm. Do you research your locations whenever you do investigate, or the next one you investigate?
Yeah, we do, and we like if we put a YouTube video out, we like to put some of the information about where we're going and all the history. And then when we caught Willa Hall coming through, we pulled up the history on her family and found out. That's how we found out that she did have the brother named Georgie that she said she had while we were there. We pulled up the history, and she told us she was 12 and she died a day before she was 12. But yeah.
Wow, that is wild.
Exactly, man. And we can sit here and talk about experiences all the time to certain people, and they'll never, it's not going to change them. And eventually they might have the experience that we had. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, and a lot of people are like that, man. But when I was about 15, we used to build forts in the woods, man. That was that's a long time ago. 15. Dang. What is that? 25 years? Dang, nabbit.
Yeah.
Man. But anyway, yeah, when I was 15, we used to build these forts out in the woods and all this stuff, man. And we would build them with this clear plastic that you couldn't really see through, but you could see the shadows of the trees and the sunlight coming through and all that, man.
I remember them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we built a nice greenhouse fort out there with a fire pit outside and all that. And we're sitting in there talking, and all of a sudden we hear crunch, crunch, crunch. We're like, oh shit, somebody's coming. We're trying to hide all the weed and everything. We're trying to hide everything because it could be the cops, And so we're hiding everything, and this big gray figure, it was huge, man. This gray figure, he had to be at least 6-7 foot tall. Real big figure, comes up like it's going to just open a freaking door that we had right there and just come right in. And at that time, I just threw it open, man. I threw it open. I was like, who's here? I was like, who's here? Scared as crap. Nothing there at all. And so we're sitting there for a couple of seconds later. All of a sudden, thousands of freaking black crows come flying in, man. It was insane. So whether or not this huge figure was connected, oh my gosh, man, that totally changed everything about those woods.
Wow, that is wild, man. Well, we used to build we used to get chairs all together when we were kids, and we used to just put them over because we didn't like going out there to the woods and stuff like that. I know that's crazy, but yeah.
No,
Exactly.
every backyard as I was a kid, we had woods. Living in Pennsylvania, we lived in the Poconos, so our backyard was woods.
Nice.
Hesperia, our backyard were dunes. I mean, whatever we could find to build a fort out of. Like I'd take old tarps, like old, we'd take old tents that we weren't using anymore, and we just take them out there and build, a little fire pit and just sit and tell like ghost stories and stuff. I mean, that's back in the day when kids did what kids do. Nowadays, they don't do that.
It's all
game.
Can I have the phone? Can I have a $3,000 game console? How about you can have all the game consoles you can afford?
Exactly.
Look, they have the Wii, all right? I'm not that horrible. They do have a Wii. Yes, it's a little outdated, but if it was my eyes, I'd give them Atari, okay? I'd give them Atari.
Yeah, exactly.
But my youngest grandson, he gets a little COD rage. Yeah, I can't play no Call of Duty for that boy. But too many remotes.
What's up, Jared?
What's up, Jared?
Heck yeah, appreciate it, Jared. Caucasian Sasquatch. Play
What's up?
Have you ever tried a Ouija board?
Now, Eli, I haven't gotten on it personally, but I've been around a group of kids that were doing it, and this was when I was a kid too, doing it, and they were getting left and right responses, and this thing's moving. I put my hand on it for a minute and had it moving and all that. I was like, whoa, I was like pretty much blown away, but just hearing from different people that I knew that were close to me that had experiences with those, and I've heard so many people say it. They've thrown it on the fire, and the next day it's back. Yes, people told me that way before I ever knew anybody on YouTube. So it's like, how could I've had people tell me that, it's like they throw it on the fire, the next day the board's back. And I've had multiple people tell me that don't know anybody that I know. So it's like, why are people telling me this? It's like it had to have happened. They're not just making it up.
It's true. I mean, it is true. I mean, I can remember my mom telling me one story about the Ouija board, and I never wanted to touch it. She said her sister was they played the Ouija board. It was a bunch of them. They played the Ouija board that night, and they all went home. And her sister was in the bathroom, and she said her husband had come down the hallway. And she goes, honey, is that you? He goes, yeah, it's me. I'm really tired. I'm going to bed. So she comes out of the bathroom, goes in the back room. There's no way to come out except for forward or backwards. And he wasn't in there. 2 seconds later, she got a phone call saying her husband was involved in a car accident and he was killed instantly. That was him coming in to say, no, I love you. I'm here. I mean, my mom said that the hair stood on the back of her head when her sister told that story. She goes, we were just playing with the Ouija board. And all of a sudden, he's going to come through and say, I'm here. And then he get a phone call and he's saying, he died instantly.
Yeah. And what's crazy about that is that I've heard that from so many people, and not necessarily just with the Ouija board. They just have the experience. Like,
yes.
They just have this experience. It's like 1 second they're here and the next minute they're not here. And then all of a sudden you get this call and they're gone. It's like, what in the world? And I've already heard that from so many people now. I mean, there's no way I could shoot them down for what they had happen when so many people had it. And after everything I've seen and picked up, there's no possible way I would ever call anybody a liar for that.
No.
Have you ever tried the dowsing rods?
Not me.
I heard they're pretty cool, man. Like, you can actually get responses and stuff. I know they were made to find water and such like that, but I haven't. But some are just like, some people when they do, it's like pretty cool.
Yeah, I see it happening. A lot of people will say, oh, those are for finding water, this and that. But yeah, but if you're standing way up in a building, and these things are communicating with you and it's all connected to the energy you're feeling and EVPs coming in, then that's a whole different story. You're not like walking out around a town looking for water in the ground, Yeah. So I believe they could be manipulated as well because they're using your energy as well. And when you're holding these rods, you've got a negative and a positive here, and the spirits could come right in and just create that connection, and I really believe that is possible.
I don't have rods, but I have a copper pendulum.
Oh, did you want to show us that?
Yeah, it stays in a red bag. Yeah, hold on. Let me get it.
Yeah, and Amber's Paraworld and all that. I mean,
Yeah,
they use I've seen them with it as well too. So I know that it's working, and I've seen so many people doing it as well too. But recently, I think that was one of the last channels I saw.
Oh yeah, most people don't do. I don't do none of that. I'm meant to be honest, but I have. How about? Have you tried the Necrophonic app on the phone? What do you think about that?
You know, I think that there's a lot of people catching a lot of interesting stuff with it. The only thing that is a drawback for me is the static, and then like multiple words coming up. Sometimes it goes directly with what you're asking or saying. Sometimes it doesn't. So it's kind of like hit and miss. And they're getting better and better, but it does have banks of words stored into it.
Right.
You see, Steve Huff, when Steve Huff made the Miracle Box app, he sent it out and proved he does not have a word bank in his app. He does have backwards gibberish. There's no words. You can play the gibberish backwards. You hear nothing. It's just gibberish. And so that's being manipulated, and it's coming out clear, and you don't have the static. So that's why I lean that way. And it's crazy because everywhere I pull that thing out, is direct communication every single freaking time. So something Steve Huff has done has completely hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I've seen those right there. The Pendulum, yep.
It's really old. I mean, it's been, my mom said she doesn't even know how old it is. I mean, it's so, you can smell the copper off it. I mean, it's heavy too. It's really heavy. I keep it,
nice.
I don't let it touch anything. I keep it in this little bag. That way nothing touches it. And I'm the only one that ever touches it. My mom passed it on to me like a, handed down the family. She goes, I don't have any use for this. Maybe you will. And I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing.
That's nice. So I like that.
I want to get the thing it sits on. Do you know what I'm talking about? The thing, it doesn't sit on it, but it kind of holds it a little more steady because my hands shake a lot from my fibromyalgia and my arthritis in my hands.
Yeah.
Well, it would constantly be moving. I can't hold my hand like enough. So they have this. I don't think it's a stand, but it kind of like holds the pendulum to do what it's supposed to do. So yeah, I don't pull it out of the bag, and I've used it maybe once to find out if my daughter was pregnant, and it was right. So
the only thing about the difference between you and the stand is when you're holding that, you got energy going down into that pendulum. And so the spirit's able to manipulate that thing. It's able to come in, feed on your energy. It's able to manipulate. If you got it in that stand, yes, the spirit can probably still manipulate it. It's just going to be a lot harder unless your energy is just so positive and so you're so energized with the energy that you can be standing over here and they can still feed on you.
Right.
And some people might have that. I feel like I probably have a really good energy that people can feed on from like a distance. They can use my energy from a distance because I'm just always so hyperactive and so positive minded and always trying to do things. I feel like I'm like a positive charge and they can literally make contact and bam. So while you're holding this thing.
Yeah. I think you're going to get more holding it.
Just like you're plugged in. Exactly.
Supercharge.
Yep.
Oh, now, Jack, when you do that, does it feel like you can feel the energy move with that, or what? Can you feel it?
Yeah. Yeah, you can feel it. I mean,
is it kind of like when you're fishing and the fish nibbles on the string? Are you feeling something like that?
It's sort of like you feel like your hands get tingly, like if I hold it, like, because it's got this little ball thing. I don't know if you can see it. Right. The background is hard to see. But anyway, it's hard. Anyway, if I hold it, like, see, it shakes for a minute. But you can feel your fingers, like you can feel like there's something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you can feel it, like it's kind of like when your foot goes to sleep. When it starts going to sleep, that tingle feeling. Yeah, that's what it kind of feels like.
Oh, okay. I just thought that someone was just like moving it, No,
when the few times I've used it, I've been by myself, and I can feel like it's kind of like almost like your hands are falling asleep. That's what it feels like, because it's the spirit's using your energy, so it's going to come from your feet to your hand, and you can ask questions counterclockwise for this, clockwise for that. I mean, that's what I've read about it. I just haven't used it a lot because I'd rather know what I'm doing than do it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd rather know. It's like, it's like when you it's like money. You rather know. If you never counted money before and you don't want to work on a register. I learned how to count money before I went to go be a person that runs your register at Taco Bell. I don't know how to count money, duh.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd much rather. I mean, I have been researching about it. I have been learning how to use it. It just when I'm comfortable, when I know I'm not going to mess it up, I'll start using it in the house. Because I can hear them. I mean, Eli, you see them in my house. I mean, we were just doing Google Meets talking about an interview, and Eli goes, "Who's that little boy behind you?" I'm like, he goes, "I know the boys aren't there because every time they're here, Uncle Eli, they come, they say hi to him, but they weren't here the other night." And he goes, "Dude, there's a little boy behind you." And he was sitting over there by White Wolf, sitting over there by standing over there. I said, "He's the only one that comes to my room."
Yeah, that's crazy.
He comes in there because he feels safe in here.
Oh, wow.
It's the mommy daddy thing. I think he's young. He's maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8. Quinn plays with him. I hear Quinn in the room talking to somebody all the time. And he says, "Nana, I'm in there playing with the little boy." And I'm like, "Okay, buddy."
Wow.
I mean,
how about spirit animals? Like,
I believe.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Buster walks through. I can hear Rain sleeps in bed with me and Jason, and then when she's ready to get to bed, she goes to her bed. I hear dog.
Yeah.
I have Pergo floors.
Oh no,
so
yeah.
I hear my dog Buster, the one I buried last year, Eli. I hear him clippity, clip, 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 clip. And he was a heavy dog. He was like a 110-pound dog, big old. He was a boxer mastiff. So, I mean, he was Brendel, beautiful dog, big, muscly dog, and you could hear his nails.
I don't believe that an animal is going to have to face judgment. I believe that they're automatically innocent. I believe that when those gates open, the animal's going to flood in first. I mean, I think so because, and I believe you, Jackson, and I know for sure that animals have a soul because we had a cat that we loved so much, and she was only like 4 or 5 years old, poor little thing, but she was the sweetest little cat ever. And one day she disappeared. We never did find her. We never knew what happened with the cat or anything like that. But a couple of days later, we saw an owl, and that thing must have been about 3 foot tall, like fly straight down looking around. And then a little bit later that morning, it was up in a tree eating something. And so I'm pretty sure the owl got the cat. But, I was laying in bed. The cat would always come up, jump on bed, and then tap, 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 and then curl up in between my legs. And so I laid down in bed and I felt tap, 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 tap. I was like, wait a minute. And then it dropped and curled up in between my legs. I was like, oh, the cat's back. And I leaned forward to pet it. There's no cat there. It's like, what the freaking world?
Funny thing about cats, like if you have an indoor-outdoor cat, when they get old and they know it's time, they will leave to die. 90% of the time, they'll walk away to die.
Yeah, this cat was young.
I know animals have spirits. This is how I know. I knew it, Buster, but there was a cat that got in the engine that my daughter saw one day, little tiny baby thing that you could hold him in the palm of your hands.
Yeah.
Now we call him Thor because I think his mother left him behind because he has one messed up eye, like his eye was cut, and he has one good eye. So his name is Thor. Plus, I'm a Marvel fan, so there you go. But he had this amazing spirit to live. He wanted to live. I fed him
absolutely
around the clock formula every 2 to 3 hours, and now. Now this little son bitch runs up and down the hallways all damn day long. Like he's not caring.
Well, you know what?
I mean, doesn't even give a crap.
It's just like even when you're 98 years old, your mind feels young, but your body's just worn out, So these things, they get on the other side, and I guess if they're a positive energy, they're not worn down, and they're more energetic again, and everything's fine. But 100%, I got to say that there's definitely animal spirits, and I know for sure what I felt. And then when I told Mrs. AAP, I was like, I could have sworn Tamil, that was her name, Tamil. I was like, I could have sworn she just laid down in between my legs and curled up. And she's like, are you kidding me? That happened to me last night. And when she said that, I was like, That's another time right there that I was just like, boom, 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 boom. I was like, yeah, this really happened.
Wow.
At that
It's
point.
weird how that happens.
It is, man.
But I do believe that animals have spirits 100%.
100%.
I never seen one of them. I haven't, but I do believe in it.
I haven't seen them with my own eyes. I have seen that shadow figure, and I know what I saw, and it was crystal clear, and it was dark black. You could not see through it. I know what I saw, and that lady coming back forward and telling me that she's been seeing it and having all these feelings and everything. I mean, she right there, and then her son ended up overdosing inside the house. I don't know what happened, but you know, that's a whole nother can of worms. But I mean, it could be connected. I mean, negative things happen when there's negative energies around, and this thing could have been because in that home, my kids would be sleepwalking in the middle of the night, and it would be freaky, man. It wasn't like your kid was just awake walking. You could tell they were in some kind of trance, man. And so whether or not they were being manipulated by something, I don't know. But having that negative feeling makes me think that something negative was putting my boys in a trance and causing it. People sleepwalk all the time. Yeah, that's fine. But it's really weird when you have this weird negative feeling when your child's sitting there freaking sleepwalking with their eyes open.
That's creepy.
And so all that was associated with that shadow figure. And I haven't had that happen since we moved out the house. I haven't had any sleepwalking with the kids since then.
Wow. That is wild, man. I mean,
sorry, I haven't eaten nothing since like 10 o'clock this morning. Saltine crackers.
I was like, you need more cookies. Thank you starving him for the giveaways.
So yeah. What do you think about a poltergeist?
What do I think about a poltergeist?
Have you ever seen anything moving or anything like? Or
I believe that it's definitely real.
I never experienced it. So.
There's way too many things. I had the door slam in my house, man. There's way too many things going on to say that the people would make something like that up. There's too many things going on. They have more of an
ability to move stuff. I mean, like I put my phone down, and I know I put my phone right here on this counter, and next 15 minutes I'm looking for it. It's in my bedroom, and I know I didn't put it in there.
Wow.
You know where you put your stuff down at.
Yep. And some people, they could feel it. Some people could see it. And I think it boils back to the energy of the actual spirit. How energetic were they when they were alive as a person? And do they still have that same energy when they died? That's more energetic than way more other spirits out there. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I kind of think it's so.
Exactly. Hey, we'll find out when we get there. We'll find out when we get there.
Yeah, I just think that if the energy is there, if that energy that they can use is there, if that person's very energetic, then I believe that they're able to manifest way easier than other spirits.
Good, Bill. You see, yes. You see, you need to meet William, Luke.
Oh yeah,
William's a special little boy.
Nice.
He's not a little boy. I love that doll, though, Bill. It looks so special and innocent. I love that doll. And by the way, Jack has not moved yet, so I'm still watching him. I put him in a certain position, so I don't know if he moved for Quinn, but I won a bear from Vale through a Christmas time, and my son comes in to see the bear, and he goes, Nana, Jack just moved. I said, what do you mean Jack just moved? He goes, his arm moved. I said, oh Lordy, Lord, but it came from Vale, so it's all possible.
Well, let me tell you this. Nobody knows this story yet because, a lot of my interviews, you hear the same thing. But one of my first experiences I ever had, I was actually probably only about 11 or 12 years old. My father cleans carpet. He was a carpet cleaner. He's gone now, but I still own the business, of course. But anyway, when I was that little, he took me and my brother into a downtown home with one of his helpers. We're in there raking and spraying the carpet, getting it ready to steam it down and all that. Well, I'm sitting there just getting into everything because I'm young. I'm not even there to help. I'm just there because my dad had me there. So I'm like walking up to the third story to see what's up there, looking around. And I walked into this office. It was just an office, and this little radio sitting there playing. And I was like, well, I better get that unplugged and turned off because we're gonna have to move it anyway. Walked up to it, and the damn thing was sitting there playing classical old music, and it wasn't even plugged in. I'm serious. It was playing music and it wasn't plugged in. I about had a freaking heart attack in that same home. One of my dad's helpers went upstairs and opened a third attic door. It was an attic door up there in the third. He turned pale white as a ghost, walked out, never came back to work ever again. My dad never even heard from him again, just never came back to work. But I asked the lady about the stereo. I was like, the thing was playing music and it wasn't even plugged in. She's like, oh, my husband used to sit up there and play that all the time. Like she just hears it playing all the time, even though it's not plugged in. And right then and there, I was like,
that's right funny. You there, have a story like that. I have a story like that. Same thing.
I knew that the old guy had to be in there listening to music.
I'm in at the time my mom had the master bedroom, which is this one. And then I have a long hallway. Now at the very end, it was my room. So there's a bathroom down there and the bathroom here. So we were getting ready to go shopping. We were both in the bathrooms and the music just turned on full blast. Okay, so it was a PC computer. It had windows in it where you had to download the music back in, the early 2000s. Mm-hmm. And the song Hey Paula came on. That old song, Hey Paula. Loud as crap. My mom comes out of this bathroom. I come out of that bathroom. Who turned on the damn radio? There was nobody here. It took me 5 minutes to find that song inside Windows.
Good night.
The speakers were blasted, everything. And I said that was my Aunt Pauline because that was her favorite song.
I'll tell you one other thing that was really crazy.
As hell.
Yeah, I know it. I'll tell you one other experience I had, when they started removing all the Civil War statues and all these statues for their political reasons and everything else. They want to use these statues for what they want to, just to brainwash people anyway. But anyway, we're sitting there in my home in Georgetown, South Carolina. It's storming outside, but there wasn't no thunder or lightning or anything. It was just raining pretty hard. And we're sitting there talking about these Civil War soldiers being pissed off that they're moving all of these statues and talking so bad about them. I said, I bet you if they were here right now, they'd be pissed off. And as soon as I said that, boom, we heard a huge cannon. And and about a second later, when we were like, what was that? Boom, another cannon. Sounded just like what a Civil War cannons would sound like, man. Which made me think that, somehow they heard what I said and they were pissed. I mean, honestly, because as soon as we said that, boom, boom, and the chances of that happening were very slim to none.
Wow, it's wild. So what do you think about like haunted dolls and stuff like that? I'm just reading what he said too. Wow.
I believe that the spirits have a way of manipulating things.
They do.
And I believe that when somebody gets scared of a spirit because the spirit did something scary, it was because the spirit wanted to scare you, and a positive spirit would not want to scare you. So in that matter, you would more like be investigating with an entity impersonating an entity, which would make it more demonic at that point. So if you're in there and you're in a room with some dolls and one of them's moving and it scares you, I think that's going to be that negative energy, man, and a negative spirit manipulating the doll.
I have 3 dolls, but they won't like, and I have the cat balls up on where they're sitting, and the cat balls are kind of like in these tea holders. They can't move around.
Yeah.
They won't talk to me, but they'll sure talk to Eli.
Man.
They do. I will ask them questions, and then the light, when he goes to talk, boom, 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 lights.
Oh my goodness!
Like, I said, this is I give you a home to live in, but you're gonna talk to him and not me.
Okay. Eli's got something with his energy and his aura. I believe with his aura that he's just a little bit. He's more capable of seeing these things and connecting, and with his out of body experience, maybe something had happened to where he's more like vigilant of what's going on now, and he's seeing things that most people aren't even really looking for, and it might not be because he's actually looking for them. It might be because now he knows they're there, and they want to be able to be seen, and he's picking up on it.
Definitely after he came back from his COVID is when they started lighting up.
Yeah.
Like, he would ask questions and as long as I'm not focusing the camera on them, they're fine. If I can sit with the camera and I look behind me and Eli asks a question and they'll say, move the right ball, move the left ball. They just do what they do. Right? Like I said, spirits aren't monkeys. They don't command one camera. They decide when they want to talk to you, not when you want to talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I mean, we can't make anybody do anything. I mean, we can't make people do things even in this world. So, I mean, manipulating a spirit or trying to get a spirit to do something, that's going to be a lot harder. And it's really going to take the right person. And there might only be a big handful of people that, have the ability to get a spirit to do something like that. And so,
thanks for coming.
But I tell you, the one doll, Laura, she talks to my daughter Megan. It's when I just had Laura out in the living room, and she would talk to my middle daughter, and my daughter would ask her questions, and the balls would just go off left and right. Wow. And when she'd walk away, the balls would start getting frantic. They'd go really fast, and then she'd go back over, and they stop going. And they pulse left to right.
Does she act like scared or anything?
No, she's not afraid. I mean, we've had ghosts. I've lived with ghosts my entire life. Back in the day when I was
well, then it's probably
I was about 9 or 10
negative.
when I first saw my first spirit. Back in the 80s, man, they put you in a little jacket and put you in a rubber room, man. You didn't talk about you saw things. You didn't talk about and
exactly.
I've seen them forever, and and even to this day, I don't know if I told Eli, but my sister's boyfriend moved in, and I told him, did you hear anything bump in the night? Don't worry about it. They do what they do. And he says, I was 50-50 on this thing. I said, okay. He goes, I got to tell you what happened. I said, okay. So he's got one of those big PC towers that they're clear and they have all the lights inside of them and everything, the big old fancy ones. He says, I was sitting there and there was a person standing and blocking out the light from his tower. He says it was completely blocking out the light. And he looked over and he saw this person standing there leaning against the wall. And he got up to walk down to the hallway to go to the bathroom. And he said all the hair on his arms are standing up. He goes, I'm not 50-50 anymore. I'm 100% believe I saw what I saw.
Exactly.
He saw someone walking up the porch the other day. Someone's coming to the door. I'm like, well, no, they're going to come up to the door, but it's not probably someone you can see. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, there's someone out there. I'm like, well, go open the door. He goes, there was just someone right there. I'm like, well, there was, but they keep doing what they do. And that's happened in this house for years. I live in Arizona. I live back, Upper Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, where and all the gunslingers. Yeah. I mean, that could be my backyard. This is all just, whatever. I like the skull that keeps popping up in the checks. There's always something on my fridge, Val. And you know what? That fridge, I clean that fridge. I have a stainless steel fridge, and they are a bitch to keep clean.
I know it.
Grandkids throw their little arrow darts at it. They make a mess of it. Nana, can we use it for? And I draw something on it, put the arrows and the bullseye. But every time I clean it, I wake up the next day. There's something on it. I just forget it. Yeah. I clean as much as I can. I leave that. Maybe if I don't clean that spot, they'll stop doing it. But I have handprints on. I've had handprints on my fridge. That look like you put flour on your hands and you print them. Mm-hmm. They're just crazy. I think that's their way of getting my attention, and they do it because I think they like to see me go nuts when I have to clean the refrigerator. I think they like to hear
cat balls. They're awesome.
Yeah, what? Cat balls. I saw what Through the Bell was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, mine too, Amber. He's driving me nuts. Baby Kitty needs his snip too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he tried to mess with Mama Kitty Goose, and she ain't trying to have him. But she bites him right in the neck. She'll pin him down and bite the crap out of him. I'm like, baby Kitty, you like this abuse? He must like it because she keeps biting him. So it's on you, bro. Go ahead.
Guys, I was gonna say if remember we're AAP, we're talking about having maybe a couple people come up, maybe ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Did you want to do that in the?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your show, man. Let's do whatever you want to do, Eli.
Okay, cool. How did you want to do that? Just whoever comes up, or?
Yeah, we're gonna do 2-3 people come up real quick, and then we got to go over to Red Paranormal Search. He's doing his
Paranormal
live.
Search.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a huge event coming on. I mean, he's been so patient, man. I mean, G Money is the man with the plan. I love that guy, man. He's really been taking care of us.
I'm gonna have to start renting out rooms, man. Vale says I have a new person here, Eli. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Right?
They can just keep on coming. They're going to have to sharing rooms with people.
Right? Yeah, I'll throw your link out, all things, Andrew. Gattenberg. I would sub to you, but somehow it says I can't sub right now because
Eli got
this and that and this.
Eli
but-
can't sub for a few days. He's feeling very he's feeling some type of way about it. Okay, he's just like
I know it.
But I'll get back. I'll get back to you guys.
Bad,
I'll watch the
Eli.
video.
Bad. You were pollinating way too many channels.
Yeah.
It says you have more subscriptions than you are subscribed. I'm going, what?
Are you serious? Like, come
Well,
on.
you got knocked down a peg, bruh.
I know, right? But it's okay. It's all right.
He's like, I'll just network and write the things down so I remember them.
Yeah. I will. I'm like, that's kind of hard, you know.
Oh, I had to write everybody down in your lives, AAP. It goes so fast.
I know it. I know it.
I've written everybody down, and then I go back in the search engine and find them, and they've been sticking thus far.
Nice. I know, and it's like the people I pollinate to, they stay. It's like I'm not. It's like they're not like coming out of my subscription list, but yet my number goes down, and then they say they get purged. I'm just like, well, you're still in my list. It's like I don't understand it, man. I just don't understand it.
I don't get how YouTube is doing their whole new rule thing. I mean, first they say 30 seconds, and it's 4 minutes, and then I'm like, make up your mind.
Yeah,
which is
we're fighting it.
What do we have to do? You have to fight. Yeah, you have to because you got to find a way out.
That's not enough. 60 cents not a good enough time to know what the channel's about. It has to be like 4 minutes so you can watch it and you can
exactly.
Like,
yeah, YouTube knows the difference between somebody that goes to your channel for 10 seconds and then somebody that's going to your channel and paying some attention to your content and all that. I mean, that makes a huge difference.
Okay, Bill.
Yeah.
So anybody have any questions?
Yeah, want to come up on panel or I don't know how we're gonna do this.
You want to DM my you want to DM me, Bill, or you have my number?
Yeah, 4 people, guys, and I don't know how you want to do this to let them up, or I could put a
link in the chat.
Yeah, link in the chat, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
4 people ask questions to AAP. So that's what I'll do right now. So, and you guys probably got to show your faces real quick, so we know, because there's a lot of bots and everything else that. What's up, Flavor Lamps? How you doing? Nice live today.
And keep in mind, when you show your face, you'll be backstage, so you don't have to show your face like on YouTube unless Eli approves of you.
Yeah. We don't need nothing, something nasty on here or anything. So we don't know who's watching.
It happens.
It does happen.
Not that anybody is. We just have to make sure you are a person and you're not some.
It's kind of hard to go back.
You might have a real life Russian sex bot.
Yeah,
you never know. You never know.
Hey, why not?
You might have a real 10 man.
Right.
Okay, Bill. All right.
But yeah, man. I had somewhere they showed it. You know what I mean? I'm just like. I have to go and take it off a little bit, and that was hell doing because I don't know how to do that really. So I'll just wait for a little bit. I wonder if I should put it. I wonder if I should pin it because that's gonna go up pretty fast.
Pin it.
Yeah, you can. Yep.
Okay. We have to like 10 people on here, so. But we got to give each other a chance to talk too. So I say just go ahead and mute whenever you're done and give the other person to talk to whoever's on here. So let me get back to my okay. So we'll wait. And then whenever you don't gotta show your face all the time, you can just turn whenever you're on panel, just turn off your camera. So I know a lot of people don't like showing the face.
Oven, so it stays hot.
So yeah. So any can you let us know why you decided to gross people's channels? I know you didn't answer that.
About a year ago, I mean, you could go to a channel and you could click on their name. You could go over there and subscribe and grow your channels. And the ultimate goal was to hit 1,000 pollinators. So you could go through and go live on YouTube and then hit that 4,000 watch hour, get monetized. So, like Wolf Hunts always likes it does, and swapping people's playlists around and helping people grow. And I found myself going into grow streams, you know, and eventually I was just like, this is old, this is boring. I wanted to take it up to a next level, but I was already into the paranormal community here and into the metal detecting and into the, you know, urbex with Taffy, with my boy Taffy, and all the exploration things. And I already knew so many people. I was like, why not try to unite all the communities together and make the grow show a little bit funner? I never intended on having giveaways. You know, we ended up doing a giveaway in my show before. And next thing you know, somebody's like, can I sponsor a giveaway? I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And next thing you know, bam, blam. And next thing you know, we're having 20 giveaways a day. So, but that's not really what it was about. It was about bringing good people together. I've already weeded out. I've got about 500 people blocked from my channel, man. It's not about who you, it's, yo, Amber, what is up? Oh, is that simple?
I was muted.
Amber,
Hey,
what's up?
Hey.
But, you know, that's what it's all about. What to me was building a family with awesome people from different communities. And what I'm finding is that there's so many great people in every community and there's so many bad people in every community.
I agree.
When we can get all the good people together, boom, bada bing. What's up, Amber? What you thinking about, sis?
Okay, I have a question for you. So
yes,
what do you feel about cryptids, Bigfoot, unicorns, mermaids, you know, Sasquatch, all that?
At this point, Amber, anything's possible. You know, even the Old Testament talks about unicorns, but at this point, anything's possible because of the fact that everybody else is having these experiences. There's a lot of people that are scared to talk about them, but there's so many actual people coming forward that I could not say that they're lying. I would have to believe them, and I would have to believe that there are many different types of creatures that we might not ever see in our lifetime that used to exist that could maybe extinct by now. But who's to say we're not seeing spirits of the Bigfoots? Who's to say we're not seeing spirits of the unicorns or all of this mythical stuff?
Bigfoot and supernatural go together. I really believe Bigfoot and supernatural go together because every time there's been a Bigfoot sighting, there's orbs.
Oh, exactly.
I do believe that Bigfoot could be have a way to get to one place to another place very quickly. That's why they're so good at being. They're elusive for a reason. They can do whatever they do, and if you're lucky to get to see one, that's awesome. But I do believe that they go hand in hand. I know every time they have a Bigfoot sighting and they show a picture, there's an orb or a flash of light or something. You see it. I mean,
oh yeah.
I think if somebody sees it, it's because that creature decided to show itself to that person. They're picking and choosing.
Yeah, but they could be spirits because how fast do you think they are? Like they're big people.
Well, their gait is very wide. They have a very wide gait when they walk. Some are juvenile, some are. I think they're all different sizes. I don't think they're just one size.
And being spirit, like if they are spirit, they can be extremely fast.
Yes.
I mean,
and slipping in and out of our realm and like just disappear.
See how my hand goes past the camera? It's like that's how that when that spirit, when that shadow figure saw me do that night, when I made eye contact with that shadow figure, it literally just like that. I mean, and that was a human spirit. So what about these big beasts like a Bigfoot? They got to be way faster, man. Yeah. So definitely good question as well, Amber. That's definitely something that I believe could quite well be a possibility that people are seeing spirits and different forms and different beasts and all kind of different things. And they definitely did exist at one point.
Yep. Oh yeah. And like you said, the Bible talks about them. I mean, people want to try to, translate it in their own terms of saying, oh, that was just a rhino or something. But no,
nah. The Bible didn't make no mistakes. When God wrote the Bible, he didn't make any mistakes. So every word was tit for tat. So every word was exactly how he wanted it to be. So when he mentions these animals, he didn't make no mistake. When he made the cannabis plant, he didn't make no mistake. He didn't make mistakes. Right. God was perfect. He created everything perfect. Man came through and ruined everything. They didn't want to listen. And so I think that the sin on the earth caused a lot of things to go extinct, like the unicorns and all the beautiful animals that were mythical, if you know what I'm saying, like a mythical creature.
Right.
I believe at one point they existed. It's possible that there's a Bigfoot out there still. It's real possible, but I believe that it could be more in a spirit form myself, just because of the fact that we're not finding any actual like hardcore like evidence. We're not finding any bodies or bones or anything. I believe that the spirits are here, but the beast might have been wiped out already.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've got something to live on my property, so.
You do what?
I said I've got some.
You do? Oh wow! Dang.
It's the Woodman, like a spiritual Bigfoot.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I really believe that that's true. I really believe you, Amber. And plus that, you're able to like see things and see and communicate with things and connect with different things. So you're probably well more in tune with Earth than most people are. I mean, so you're probably more capable of seeing these things, feeling these things, hearing these things than probably 90% of the people on Earth, I believe.
I definitely feel like you've got some abilities too, and do some time meditating and you know, if you want to do that, and I think you could really increase it and like get yourself on that like an even higher vibration because your energy's good.
Oh yeah. And I think so too. And that's why like when I turn on that like spirit box and the miracle box, it's just like bam, bam, bam. It's like instantly. It's like they're already standing there waiting on me like they knew I was coming, like, you know. And when I was about to leave the Bath Massacre location, you know, I didn't realize until I got home that there was a whole line of other kids that actually had something to say. I didn't give them enough time. And that's what they said. I didn't give them enough time. And I didn't realize that until I'd already gotten home. But, you know, at that point, I knew right then and there with that one EVP alone that I left a bunch of kids out there unheard, and they wanted to be heard for the first time in almost 100 years.
That's exactly it. They all have a story to tell, and a lot of them just want to tell their story. They want to be heard. That's a lot of it.
It really could make that spirit feel like we do when somebody lifts us up and makes us have a great day and our thoughts are great. We could be in a miserable mood and somebody just says one thing to you and then your whole day is just great. You know, these kids are sitting there for 100 years and all of a sudden somebody walks up and they're like, oh, well, you know, we're talking to a spirit and we're saying your name and we're actually communicating with you. We can hear what you're saying. I mean, I really think that it really changes everything for even a spirit. You know, maybe it does, maybe it don't. But from what I'm feeling, I think it does.
Yeah, and that's like when I encounter some, if they need my help, like if they for some reason they didn't go to the light or they're looking for somebody, then I'll just let them tell their story and I'll pray with them. I'm like, look, we're going to pray and God's going to come and get you. And they all like we've audibly heard it, and I've even had it on audio. You can hear it like this one man said, I see him, I see God. Like he's seen it. Like
definitely.
I think some of them just get confused and get lost. Not all of them. I don't that's one part I don't understand is how some can go there and back, and you know what I mean? And
it's
then
because, you know, they can see God and God is amongst them. God's with them, you know, and God is there, but God's already written the book. God's already got a plan. So everybody's waiting on everything to roll out. It always says these things shall come and they shall come to pass. So we're waiting on what he's already written out. We're living a book where whether anybody wants to realize it or not, we're living a book. And when you're reading that book, when you understand what's going on, when you're looking at the signs, when you have these connections, you know that we're real close now. We're really close to the end of the book, and things are starting to wake up and get a lot more active now. So
exactly.
I mean,
I agree on that.
But I mean, definitely. I mean, there's just people out there that are able to connect with these little souls and these spirits and different kinds of even beasts. I believe these beasts are coming forward. I mean, these things are like all of a sudden we've got a living creature here and they're hearing us. I mean, that's got to be like unbelievable for them, you know, because they've been standing there for 100 years and all of a sudden we're like contacting them. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were into like the paranormal side until I was on your live earlier. I'm like, who's that lady? Like, I had no idea that you all had been seeing her.
I'm telling you. And we had the SLS camera out and we had a spirit standing by me. I'm sorry I'm eating. I was starving. We had the SLS camera out and I was sitting right down on the couch and there was a stick figure sitting there and I was like, Elizabeth, if that's you, can you come sit down next to the couch with me while we talk? And sure enough, with the SLS camera and responding voices on the EVP, that stick figure came and sat right down on the couch. I did not feel it. I didn't really feel much of an energy change because the energy was already all here. But the SLS camera, at the exact time I asked it if it could come sit down, damn sure came and sat down. So, I mean, I'm a firm believer, man. And once you've had these experiences, then all of a sudden everybody else's stories and everything else everybody's coming forward with, it's a whole different picture for you. It's no longer, you don't no longer believe them people. You're more like blown away every time somebody tells you something.
So what do you think about mermaids? I think Tree Lynn said something about that. What do you think about mermaids and stuff like that? What do you think they came from? I mean, like, is there something that
God created everything, of course,
under the sea? Of course, yeah. And we all come from micro organisms, whatever they're called, and
microorganism. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think there's stuff under the sea that we don't know?
Oh, definitely, man. We don't even know everything about the freaking Earth yet. I mean, even what's above the water to know what's under the water, and they're already up in space, man, capturing these little bacteria particles of life forms, And
you got to look at cave drawings from thousands of years ago. There's cave drawings of unicorns and mer people. Like, it has to mean something, right?
Hey, Patty. Yeah, there's so much life out there that it's just insane. I mean, we're only starting to get the technology we even need to see all the life. The Bible says God created the worlds in plural, which means more than one. So, if he created this world with all this life, why would he create other worlds with no life? I don't believe that. And I believe that there's millions of worlds out there because he said it in plural. He never said how many. He did say it in plural, which means more than one. So there's definitely other lives out there on other planets as well, too. And we're starting to get technology now where we're getting different signals coming in. Like they're even getting a spiraling light coming in from a different dimension. I don't, I just think that our technology is just on the brink. But unfortunately, I don't know how much better technology is going to get before God just comes back and says, y'all really destroyed this whole entire planet already. So. Yeah. Me, myself, I'm looking any day for Judgment Day to start happening, especially with the dreams that I've been having. I really think that everybody's going to be in for a rude awakening here pretty soon.
Exactly, Treeland.
I mean, what we know about our planet, the continents, all this stuff, even the solar system, we're relying on NASA, who have been caught up in so many lies. We're relying on the media to tell us what to believe.
Exactly.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
How do we know that we can trust them? I mean, to some degree, I question everything now. I may not have 4 years ago, but now I do.
Believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see, because don't put no faith in man. You want to stay away from man. You don't want to be putting any faith in man because they're going to deceive you. And the devil can, he works through people, and there could be demons in the form of people that they want you to go to hell. I mean, they really want you to go burn in hell because that's what hell's all about. But fortunately, we got a way of defeating that, and that's with positive energy and believing in God and knowing what He's created and all these things. And they hate that. They hate the fact that we know that we can be saved. So. Again, I'm thinking about the stinking egg roll and lost daughter. But anyway, I see Patty in here. What's up, Patty?
Hey, what up?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You got some questions?
Hey.
You got any questions, Patty?
Well, I pretty much heard everything you said. I agree with a lot of things you say, though. It was very interesting how you think about the paranormal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Especially when you said something about the black shadow. You think sometime it could be a demonic spirit?
Oh, yeah.
I actually agree because I dealt with one myself, and it touched me, and it scared the shit out of me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, but so you think you're sensitive?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely. I can definitely sense negativity. I can definitely feel like things that are, if something's wrong and somebody's like hiding it from me, I can feel it. I always know when something's going wrong. I can feel the negativity basically. So, and then having the experiences. Oh yeah, definitely. I am definitely Patty.
Tell me about the smell. You said something about. Now, see, sometimes I be smelling like something like rotten eggs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And is that like a bad spirit smell, right?
Well, you got well water. If you got that well water, that could be doing it. You got that sulfur water.
I don't know. It stinks bad. I know that.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say that I believe that anything is absolutely possible. I mean, people's experiences, different experiences, everything from EVPs to seeing full-on shadow figures to smelling them to just hearing them. All of it is true. Yes. I mean, there's people that make up stuff, of course, but most of the people that really want to talk to somebody that comes forward, they're not lying to you.
You're welcome, Johnny. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you're smelling sulfur and you're also feeling like a presence, and it's something negative, I mean that's something that I think you should probably reach out to somebody and try to get some help with that. Not all spirits are bad. There's a huge misconception, but there are some bad ones.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
The ones I feel is when I smell that, I feel bad. I feel something bad. You know what I mean? I know I have a demon in my house. I'm just not sure which one it is, but I do know I have a demon in my house. And Jack, she's been on the phone with me.
Yo, you ain't got no demon in your house. You got a negative spirit, but ain't no demon.
Yep.
He's a nasty old man. I mean, God, he's nasty in life. He's nasty in death. Right. It's that homeboy in that chair. I told you he's nasty. He's like one of those old men. Get the hell off my lawn. Those kind of nasty men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Patty, you can tell him to leave.
Exactly, Amber.
I was on
just
the phone.
Stand your ground. I don't ever say like invoke. Don't ask for things that happen. Some people get mean with them, but if you're standing your ground in your own house, that's a whole different story. Just be like, look, this is my house. Get out. If you don't, I'm going to make you leave. Like you have to stand up to them. And I learned that the hard way. This is a long time of not standing up for myself and being tortured.
Yeah, it's very hard too. It's very hard. I mean, even when I was a child, I had these visions. I don't know if it was visions or if I was seeing them, but I would always see Indians standing in the doorway, like staring at us. And I thought they were my dad's friends, And so as I got older, I was about 17 years old. I was like, Dad, who was the Indians that always came over to the house? He's like, what are you talking about? It's like the Indians that used to come into the doorway. I said, they never came into the house, but they would always come into the doorway and y'all would be sitting there. And I don't even remember my dad having like a conversation with him, but they were there. And he said, son, I never had nothing like that happen.
And
I was like,
what?
But even scarier with that event in that same house was that, my dad would put me in my room, I don't know how old I was really, but I remember like trying to leave the room and I'd be like holding the carpet as tight as I can while something's trying to pull me back in under the bed. And I was just like blown away. And still to the day, I'm scared of that because I woke up in that room before and the shadows on the wall, instead of them being like the tree branches and all that, it was all steak knives and different types of knives and blades. And I was like, what in the world? It's like flames going on with the knives sticking up. I mean, I don't have any idea, man. But that night I got sick as a dog after that happened.
Oh, wow.
Yep. But the Indians happened multiple times where, there would be Indians standing there, like probably at least once or twice a week. It was almost like a weekly thing where I was almost expecting them they're going to be there, And so when I got older and mentioned it to my father, he thought I was freaking nuts.
Right. A lot of us dismiss everything we see and feel because of conditioning. And I think a lot of it's unintentional, but when you're a kid and you see something, your parents are like, hey, that didn't happen. You watched something you shouldn't have, or, you're imagining this. And then we tend to always think that, put away what we see and feel and think that it's just our imagination when it's really not.
Oh, no.
I think the coolest thing I've ever seen is I was sitting out here watching TV one night, and it's back toward that I was telling you about the PC. in my home, in my house, we used to have a you know, when you get, you know, a big old double wide, you got 5 bedrooms, but when you have, you know, when they put those little dividers up and they're only sitting there by the under the bottom, they're being held in like those little makeshift walls.
Yeah.
Well, right there, I was sitting there watching TV and I'm looking, and I look to my right, and there's a spirit, completely white, sitting in that chair.
Wow.
I looked over and I thought, no, it's my eyes playing tricks on me. I'm watching TV, and I look over again, it's still there. And I look over again, and I said, I don't know if I ever told you this, Eli. And I looked over again. He turned around and looked at me and nodded his head. And then I turned around and looked straight, and then he was gone. That was the most epic thing. I mean, he pure white. There's like the purest white you could, like the purest white you could think of, like heaven white you could think of. And that's what he looked like. And he just looked at me and he nodded his head, and I was like, "Oh no!" Okay. And I'm all by myself out in this living room. You know, there ain't nobody here. I'm watching my movies, and I'm going, huh? It's right there, right there. It's kind of one of those things where you want to go help, but you can't say nothing.
Oh man!
It was see through white. Yeah. Like you could see through him, but he was very still solid.
And I have those.
I've got white creatures in my woods too, and I don't know what they are. They won't tell me, but they're about 3 feet tall. They have a human shape. Couldn't see a face, but they kind of remind me of Gollum. I don't know what they are.
Oh Lord, my mother would love that. She loved Gollum. Oh my gosh, my mom loves Gollum. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
There's so much out here, and people would never leave their house if they knew everything.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I can't go in the grocery store with that stuff flying off the shelf. I went shopping 3 months ago with my daughter, and going down the bread aisle, and whoosh, bread right in front of me. And the guy, was a guy in front of me. He goes, "That just happened, right?" I'm like, "Sure the hell did. Sure the hell did."
So yeah, Jax has something about her that spirits know that she could see them, and they want Jax to know we're here.
Well, apparently Vale says I have a new one in the house, so they just come on, spirits, come on.
Right?
I got plenty of room. Y'all gonna have to share though. Who's gonna
yeah, exactly. You're bringing them home with you. You're a magnet.
You know, I don't want them here. It's comforting sometimes when I'm by myself, and it's like I can hear them scurrying around. I'm never alone. Put it that way. I'm never alone.
That's like when I go out to eat or something.
Myself, but I'm never. You're probably never alone either, Amber. You're never alone.
Yeah, it's no matter where I go. Like it could be the restaurant, and then I'm like having to walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, who do you know that looks like this?" Because they won't.
Yeah. Right.
They make me feel how they passed away usually. So I'll get sick or I'll feel like a lot of pain.
Yeah.
It even does it in chat. So like even like when I'm around anybody, it's like random people. It just happens.
Oh yeah.
You're just never you're never alone. I mean,
super sensitive.
I can be on the phone with Eli, and he's like, "I just heard somebody." I'm like, he goes, "Wait, there's nobody there." I'm like, "Oh no, there's somebody here. Just not the people that live here." But it's hard to explain to people. Like I've had people like come into my house and go, "You know, Jack, you're just it's your imagination. And you know, over the years, the kids' friends have been nice. Oh, we don't believe in ghosts. They get up the next morning, they have to go home. The kids say, "Dude, you want to come hang out?" They, "Nope, we're good. Nope." He goes, "You come to my house." I'm like, "What happened? Did you see something you didn't want to see?" The door. I mean, they play with the faucets now. They play with the doors. Funny thing, my daughter is not here, but the room my sister's in now, it has a lock on the door. Several mornings my son got up and goes, "Mom, the door's open." I'm like, "How is it open?" "It's got a key you have to literally put a key to unlock it." It's been open several times.
Oh yeah.
And just like that, they want the door open, the cross breeze, whatever, let them do what they got to do.
Yeah. Well, you know, I used to stream live on my channel 4 or 5 hours in the evening time as well too, not just during the day. And I would be down here at night. Beck would be down here. The kids would be already in bed and all that. The mudroom door to get inside my house, you have to go in through an outside door to get into the mudroom and then come into the house from there. But those 2 outside doors, we always keep those locked as well too. That's just more security, you know. So, but we're down here doing our stream, and all of a sudden, bam, 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 and it just keeps going. And finally, I look up. I'm like, "What is that?" And one of us get up. We start going up the steps, and right when you get up to the top, it stops. You open the door, nothing there.
It's so irritating. You go up there, like, "All right, I'm here. I'm here now. You can't do it now. You made me get up to come up these stairs.
Yeah. And that's happened twice on my live stream, and it's pretty freaky. But I mean, it's hitting the door so hard you'd think the glass was breaking out.
I got up when I was in my room one night, and it was so quiet. My son was down there in the hall, and we hear this loud noise, like something's, like maybe going across my pergo floor, the wood floor. He comes out and goes, "That was not you, was it?" I said, "Well, no, not unless I was going to pick up the trash can lid and throw it across the floor. No, it wasn't me." But the trash can is right here on the other side of the wall where the kitchen is. It ended up 4 feet away from the trash can. I'm going, yeah, bro. Like, I'm just going to get up 11 o'clock and just throw your trash can lid. Duh.
Right.
See, my
Jack,
people, he can
I feel like
sleep,
there's somebody with you that I'm picking up on, and he's got like salt and pepper gray hair and a white shirt, a little bit of a belly. But I feel like he was like coughing. Yeah, I don't know. He might be somebody in your family though. I don't know. And I feel like he was sick when he passed. Like maybe he was coughing a lot, or maybe coughed up blood. I don't know, but
emphysema. It's my grandfather.
Wow.
He's always there.
Okay. Yeah, he's there.
He makes sure I'm doing right. He was a cop, so I mean, he makes sure that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It just happens. It's just like.
No, it's nice. It's nice that I know I know he's here, but it's nice to have some validation from somebody else to say, yeah, he's here, and that means a lot to me because he died when I was 8. So
did he have like a favorite recliner that he always sat in? Huh? He reminds me so much of my grandpa. My grandpa died when I was like 6, and I remember him. He reminds me of him. But it's like he's showing me him like sitting in like a leather recliner, like just kind of chilling.
Oh yeah. Yep. My grandpa was the best. My papa was the best. I was always with them fishing, hiking, all that stuff. And even when I was younger, I still remember those times. I know these here because I can smell pipe tobacco, and he smoked a pipe.
Yeah, he's definitely with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. See, Amber hits the nail on the head. I'm telling you, she's amazing, right?
We were going to interview somebody one time, and we were talking about it, and I was on the phone with Eli, and you hear this, "You better not." Eli goes, "Who just said that?" I said, "That was my Nana, and if she says you better not, look, I ain't getting a ghost slap." No, if she says you better not, that means we're not doing it, and we never did it, and we found it, we never did it, and we were glad we never did it. Something happened to where we were really glad we listened.
Jeez Louise.
So when my Nana said no, she meant no. She didn't say, "Oh, go and try a little bit." No meant no. And I'm like, "I'll tell her where you live, Eli. She'll find you."
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Always trust your intuition.
Oh yeah, exactly.
When I was
like what Amber's saying. Like a lot of times, people that they might even be sensitive and have like these weird gut feelings and all that. They don't even know they're sensitive, and they're sitting there picking up on all this stuff, and they don't even realize that these energies are like manipulating them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like Amber, my volume is. I think Amber actually, being that she knows that she's able to pick up on things and see things, it just comes a lot more natural after you realize that than before. Like before, you feel like these energies are attacking you, but after you become more aware of what is going on, then you're like, it's like your mind is a lot more wide open, and all of a sudden they're just like coming at you.
I spend a lot of time raising my vibration through meditation. I put in like at least a part-time job's worth a week meditating, and it's daily for me, and even all night long.
I feel like Amber has like souls just like always coming at her. I mean, and I'm not the type that even feels that, but with her always like being able to pick up on these things and even tap into our mindset, I just feel like because she can even tap in with like the living. So she's like connected like through the aura, through somebody's energy and through their aura. And so she just knows that she can do it now. And so it's a lot easier, but there's people that don't realize that they're capable and think that their life is just getting messed up. And that's not the case. They just have these things happening that they can't explain, and they don't have nobody they can go freaking talk to. So that's a big problem with a lot of people, and especially the younger ones growing up now and in school and all that. And some kids go to school and get all suicidal and all this and that. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just being bullied at school. I mean, it's but with Amber knowing that she could do it, and also Oracles was real good with her reading. I just feel like the spirits are like coming to them because they know that they can see them in a way. And so she's just going to be like that probably the rest of her life. I guarantee it.
Eli, I will get back with you later on about that photo.
Oh
I've been
yeah, man, my
super busy
backyard.
today.
That's okay.
We got like another 4 inches of snow, and
same here.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, we're supposed to be getting some more snow here too, as well too.
Well, see, there's a light. There's a light on there, but but I had my camera light was off. I don't have the light on during daytime if I'm taking a picture.
And I wanted to blow that picture up more. I saw something in the picture, but at the time I had it on my phone and I needed to put it on my laptop. I needed a bigger screen because I wear glasses and half the time it's hard enough to see with those on normal pictures. I saw something back there, but
is there a graveyard near there, Eli?
That's what I asked. That's what I was wondering.
No,
because I did see the photo for a minute the other day, but it's almost like there's somebody buried near there. Like I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
I was just about to comment on like that situation real quick. I know that time's kind of limited, but like what she's saying, even though we don't know that there's like a graveyard there, I mean, the freaking world has grown up and so many things have been built on and grown over. I mean, they might build neighborhoods right on top of an old cemetery and not even tell you, or you don't know about it. So the stores in these different places, you might be on a freaking cemetery and you don't even freaking know it.
I agree.
It's true.
Definitely.
It's true. It's the same where I live. I mean, wagon training through the Wild West where I live, and this Chino Valley wasn't always here. I mean, Prescott is 30 minutes from me. So I mean,
some old neighborhoods have become woods again. Yeah. Some old neighborhoods have become woods again. People grew up, lived there, died, and all of a sudden the towns fizzle out and they rot down and become woods again. So and then later on they go back through and they redevelop. Nobody ever knew that it was once developed before. So people are lost. And not only that, people could have died in those areas and they might not be buried there, but their spirit is still there. And so when they build there, I mean, dang right, there could be spirit somewhere where you never thought there was and where somebody died and nobody ever knew that they died there.
I keep telling Eli when he comes to visit my kitchen, they says I have about an acre, almost 2 acres of land. Okay. So when my back kitchen look out the window on a really like full moon night, you can literally see people doing their thing back and forth through the window. I'm going,
wow, I want to see that.
We went out there one night. Me and Jason, White Wolf, we went out there and we had our EVPs and we had our little recorder and stuff. And they kept saying William, and that's an old name. There was a Bob, but it was a kind of, the air was charged a little bit. You could see the lightning in the distance. Yeah. So that was a perfect time to do it. You could feel it. The air was like, it was like tingly. The air was just, you could hear them. I hear horses.
Amplified. Oh yeah.
I've heard wagon wheels going in the backyard. Where we live is a dead end street. So we don't have no street lights. This thing is pitch black dark. So when the full moon's out, it's amazing what you can see back there. It's amazing.
Yeah. I think the majority of our lands were built over top of cities. I mean, they're discovering underground cities everywhere now. I mean, they found one in New York, the whole entire town underground.
I know it, ain't it something? Look at the stuff they're digging up all over the world. All these amazing freaking things that's been buried in Egypt and all that stuff, which is more proof to me that the Great Flood took place and a lot of things were actually buried in mud and dirt and now we're digging it all back up, And even where the Red Sea was supposed to be parted now, there's a whole trail of Roman soldiers and debris all the way across. They're finding it now, and there's more proof that the Red Sea actually got parted. So I always go back to the Bible with everything because the Bible's actually, it's amazing when you understand it. And the Bible can be very difficult to understand, but when you listen to it and you're paying attention and then you hear everybody's stories, you can't believe in the Bible if you don't believe these people's stories because the Bible talks about all these things. And then the people are coming to you saying, look, I saw this, and they don't even know the Bible, but yet they're describing things that the Bible describes, so.
It's a very good book. It's got everything you could ever want in a book. Murder,
pretty much, mystery. It's got your ups and downs and your bads and goods.
You can get through how it is, or maybe get a new version to where you could read it without the art, the these. It's a pretty good read.
But in that same sense, Jax, I found a Bible that did have an attachment at an antique shop last year, and it's like 1930s a Bible, and
Bible.
I have compared it with newer ones, and people have changed the wording in Bibles so much to fit agendas. It's ridiculous. So if you do want to find out what it really said, you need to go back and like get somebody to translate one, or get one that's been translated from like even the 1800s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
the
really
Torah
Old
code or
Testament,
something, like the
not
Torah.
New Testament.
Mhm.
And those sea scrolls that they're finding too are absolutely amazing as well too, that correlate with a lot of the things that the Bible does say, which proves that there's words in there that are all true and all written, you know, the right way. But like she said, the Bible has been manipulated so many times as well too, and it's all a form of deception, because ultimately the people that change the words in the Bible, those people are trying to send you to hell. I mean, and even the book of Enoch and other places were removed out of the Bible because they want you deceived. They don't want you to believe that you can go to hell if you're wicked in this world, and they want you to do the bad stuff because they're actually doing devil's deeds. Even if they don't think they're working for the devil. And one day they're going to find out they were working for the devil. Exactly. And when you're doing something wrong, you freaking know it. Like if you're trying to mislead somebody or mess somebody's day up by doing something negative. Exactly. Yep.
See, that's why when I made that comment.
Really, bro? Really? You didn't know you were doing it when you were sitting there putting like negative things on people? You know what you're doing when you're doing it. It's not like grabbing out of body experience. I didn't know I was doing it.
Like earlier when I made that comment about, you know, on TikTok especially, I get a lot of comments from people that are you know, criticizing me in God's name. But I'm like, don't come at me, because I know my Bible. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. I went every Sunday, and I've compared. I couldn't tell you how many different time eras of Bibles here. Like I know what I'm talking about when it. I mean, I don't know all of it, but I wouldn't tell people something if I didn't, you know, think it was true. I mean, look at the Bible. There's light workers. They scribed. They sent people messages through fire. I mean, Daniel in the lion's den, it was a half lion, half man. That was a cryptid. That was not a lion. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there that people, you know, change to fit their own agendas.
Definitely. This definitely been manipulated.
Well, guys, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say, after this we're talking about, just go and head over and raid.
All right, Paranormal Search. Yeah, we got to raid Paranormal Search
right now. I'm talking to Rebecca right now. So,
but Amber's absolutely right. And you can be deceived, but the one thing about it is that there's one way that you're not going to be deceived, because Jesus made it easy for everybody. Call his name and you will be saved. So no matter what any man tries to tell you, just remember Jesus's name, and just know that when you call his name, you will be saved. So no matter what kind of man tries to judge you or deceive you, they're not your judge, and whatever they say about you don't even matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't. People can say the baddest thing about you. I'm like, that's fine. You can think what you think, but you can't judge me.
Exactly.
The worst critic you could ever have is yourself.
Exactly.
Come that day, if you've done good and you've done the best you can, I think that you're going to be okay.
Yep.
I really do. Not everybody's perfect, and we can't always follow that perfect line. But if you follow pretty close, you know, you don't harm other people. You don't say bad things to people. You know, you do the best you can as a human being can.
You got to.
I think we're good then. I think you know, whatever creator's up there is going to say, you were the best human you could be.
Yep.
That's right.
I think a lot of people know this. Exactly. Everybody needs to stick together, you know, in this world. I mean, we know the difference between good and evil. So just keep doing what's good and go with your gut feeling, like Amber was saying, and everything will be good. I know Paranormal Search, he's pissed. We got to get over there.
No, he's good. He's good. We're coming. I told him we're coming.
All right. Awesome. I know. G has been blowing it up all week.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate y'all very much. Thank y'all for everything.
Thank you for coming up, Amber.
We need to do this again sometime.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting subject and conversation, and we could go on for days probably.
Well, you know, we can have a hangout stream maybe next month and talk some more about it. But we get a lot of people in here weighing on it, you know, get a big old group of people.
And if Amber can get a panel too, and then we can join her on a panel as well. So
hell yeah.
If she lets me, I'll talk.
I'm going to jump down. My kid needs me, so I will see you guys later.
Bye, Amber.
Can we drop the link for Paranormal Search in the chat? Is that possible?
Yeah,
you got it, Eli. You want to drop it?
Your wife already did. So.
Oh, she did drop it. Where is it?
Nice.
She's on it. All right.
Eli Raid. Thanks, we are raiding Paranormal Search with the Eli Raid. Bam! Hit him up.
Thanks, man.
Love you guys.
I went over there and said hi. I'm gonna go back there over there again. So.
All right, Eli and Jax, love y'all. Thank y'all very much for having me on.
Brother. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you for doing it.
Have a good night too.
All right, see y'all later.
Bye, bro.
Right. Well, guys, I'm gonna go to end this, guys. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Like I said, stay positive and hope you guys come back again and see us again. Stay positive again, and God bless you.